So hello fellow Earthlings, this is Earthling 6455463728. So my ankles, both of them, are incredibly swollen and I have no idea why. As a matter of fact, a few days ago I felt my calves and they felt huge and I was like, wow, I must be really building a lot of muscle. I didn't really look at my feet at the time, but I thought, wow, I'm doing a lot of good like calf exercises. So these are huge, but it seems like my calves and my ankles and my feet were just really swollen. Not in a good way. The thing about it is that there's no pain. It doesn't hurt. So that's a positive, definitely. Unfortunately, when I did get around to looking at my ankles, I was like, oh my god, something is really wrong here. So as it is, I use this really hot, you'd call it salsa, I guess, that I put on all of my food. And I was worried that maybe there was too much sodium in it. And maybe that was the reason why I was retaining water and I was bloated, and that was it. So I decided, okay, I use it every day, significant amount. So I figured, okay, I'm not gonna use it one day and see what happens. And the next day, my feet were just as bloated, my ankles. So I think, that's kind of quick, one day, but that's all I gave it. And I was like, this is not a satisfactory reduction in how big my ankles are. And of course, still they didn't hurt. So I thought I really have to figure out something here because this could be bad. So naturally, I Googled it. I went to WebMD. There's the other one, Healthline or something. I wanted to probably go to John Hopkins or somebody. And anyway, they were talking about renal failure was one, heart failure could be another one. They were talking if you have frequent urination, that might be a sign of your renal failure. And then I was reciting it to my sister. There was nausea, there was problems sleeping, there was fatigue, there was problems concentrating. So I didn't have too many of those. I seem to have a lot of problems falling asleep now, but that was before I noticed that my ankles were huge. So I just ruled out the renal thing because my urination didn't seem to have a problem. So next on the lineup was heart failure. I didn't even bother to look too closely at the symptoms of that because I figure if it was heart failure, that would be kind of noticeable, that I'd be really tired and wouldn't be able to move and do whatever. So thought, okay, forget about that one. Now at the same time, as it turns out, it came around to the time when I normally do exercises. I normally do high intensity, training? Yeah, high intensity training intervals. So what I do is I do about 14, 15, 16 pull-ups. Then I run over to press myself. What do you call it? Where you kind of put your back against the wall and you crouch so that you pretend that you're sitting on something. Then I run over and I try to do 40 push-ups as quickly as I can. And then some jumping jacks and then some leg raises with push up at the end. You try to get your butt off of the ground to be vertical, and then I do some squats and also some stuff with my ankles. My calves. I hold this reasonably heavy weight and try to do it with that. So I was thinking, and then I also do jumping jacks as well. So I thought, wait a minute, is it the high impact that I'm ending up on like a solid floor and then I do it outside a bit on concrete. Is that what could be doing it? So I thought, okay, here's what, I probably better chill with that for a bit. And as well, unfortunately, my elbow, my right elbow, when I'm doing pull-ups, sometimes it hurts a little bit. Not like horribly, but enough to be like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that too much, So I thought I was getting enough sleep that would take care of it and that would be fine. But unfortunately, it was kind of compounding itself, getting a little bit worse, not that much worse. But I told myself, here's what, I've already been through the situation where I did not want to stop exercising, and I just, okay, it hurts a little bit more, I get it, I'll do it anyway. And it hurts a little bit more, I get it, but I'll do it anyway. And that's why I'm already at the point where I only do this, like, the first day of, well, this is the thing, the days kind of go forward. So if I do on Monday, then I'll try to do it on Thursday. Then I will try to do it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So then I've done it on Sunday when last week I did it on Monday. So the days kind of, I guess, regress, not really proceed. So it's 3 times in a actual week. And I used to do it, I did one of those workout video things. I used to do it every day. And I realized, because I didn't realize that I needed to sleep that much, that, my injuries were compounding. And then I spread out the days to every other day. And then I realized that wasn't enough. And then it got really bad and I had to stop altogether for a couple of months. And then I started something else, and again I didn't stop and something got worse. So I figured, here's what, I know how this story goes, and I'm just going to give myself a break before I have to stop. But like I said, I'm still kind of worried about my ankles, they're still kind of puffy. So I'm like, okay, as far as I know, it's not renal failure, it's not heart failure. There's some kind of thing with your veins where they say that from sitting or standing too long, you can get this thing where the blood doesn't go back up to your heart. Your veins don't work properly. Your valves are bad. But then their recommendation is to walk around. Well, I don't sit down that long for this kind of thing to happen. And then they're talking about varicose veins. I don't have any varicose veins. And they're talking about marks on your skin. I don't have any marks on my skin. So it doesn't really seem like that. So I kind of forgot about that. And then the others, oh yeah, they were talking about some kind of lymphatic thing. Like if, I guess your lymph nodes have been removed. So I was like, I am not thinking that it's that one either. I don't have any issues with my lymph nodes. So it kind of ruled out mostly everything that they had on their list. And obviously the salsa wasn't the thing, because when I decided to reduce my salsa intake, that kind of it should have done something. But my legs just looked like a pregnant woman's nightmare. Just horrible, puffy, like if something had happened. And I guess another one on the things is if you have an injury. And like I said, my ankles didn't hurt, So, but then I thought, wait a minute. My left ankle seems to be significantly bigger than my right ankle. And then I'm thinking, why is that? As it is, most days I don't really remember which ankle I broke. But seeing as it was not a mirror effect, they weren't the same, I started thinking, well, maybe this is the ankle that I broke. But then I remembered that ankle actually used to hurt when I was just starting off to do jumping jacks. I wanted to add jumping jacks to the things that I did. And, I would do 15, 20, 30, and then I'd be like, what's going on? because it would start to seriously hurt, like if I had a problem. And one day it stopped hurting. So I was like, okay, great. But at that time, I really wasn't paying too much attention to my ankles. But beyond all of that, I was telling my sister, maybe a year ago, maybe, I remember I went to the hardware with flip-flops on, and one of the people that was working there, I saw her staring at my feet, and she had this kind of kind of look on her face, and I thought, well, okay, you think I'm poor because I'm wearing flip-flops to the hardware and you don't like it. Yeah. But then I'm thinking, maybe my ankles were like swollen from even then, and maybe that's what she was looking at, because I have noticed that they've been swollen before, but I didn't really watch them continuously to see, like this is something that you notice, and then I guess one day you have one extra thought in your head and that gets pushed out, bloop, and you don't really think about it again. I mean, I do remember thinking that throughout the last year at least, that, hey, my ankles feel a little bit, swollen, but not compared to this. This is like definitely something that's like, whoa, stop it. And that's the thing, they don't really hurt. So anyway, I figure that I could have some kind of hairline fracture or something. So I'm just gonna not exercise for at least 2 months and see how that works out. I don't know if it's in my imagination or not, but my ankle seems to be a little less swollen. It's still pretty swollen. Luckily, my calves don't feel like two huge cabbages anymore. So obviously that was not as a result of my excellent workout routine. It was just that they were super swollen. So hopefully it's a hairline fracture kind of thing. Hopefully it's not even that, but hopefully whatever it is stops being a thing when I don't exercise. Unfortunately, I also had stopped exercising because of some funky pains that I had, and I'd fallen. I was like tussling with someone, and I realized that I had some pains in my hand and my knee and ankle, so I just stopped exercising. But when I started back, the pain started back, and I was like, I stopped for like months, what's wrong? And anyway, I just have to stop again and see what's what. So anyway, guys, hopefully you're not asleep, and if you are, wake up. And you can wish me luck. You can like or unlike, you can comment, subscribe, and or share, and of course you can do nothing. Peace.